back, everyone. This is GhostWolf. So I've got a rather special request today for these videos. I actually need a little bit of help with building and map design. So Pixelmon is getting very close to having a update to the new 1.6.2 sometime in the next couple months. And when it does, it's going to have a lot of fixes to the battling system that'll enable me to actually be playing Safari games some more. And so I need some better maps. So I pretty much just took a basic seed for this map and built a Poke Center and a very small stadium on this one. And it works well enough for very small things, but I plan on having Safari games on a server with 24 people participating at a time, and I need a better map. So I'm going to be issuing a map-making challenge. Thank you, Electrode, for talking continuously. Map-making challenge, and so the maps are going to be, or you'll make a map and submit the map file, and I'll take a look at them and try to figure out which ones are the best. And for prizes, I probably should go to prizes first before I go into specifications. For prizes, first prize, I'm planning on having a Safari Games match and trying to get as many of the other Pixelmon YouTubers as possible to join me for that match. And so the first prize will be a slot in that match for yourself, as well as your map being the one featured for that round. And then the second prize is going to be a slot into the staff game that I'm planning on having. So this will have some of the mods, a lot of the coding devs, the modelers, all the people who kind of help bring you the Pixelmon mod. I'm going to be working on getting a whole bunch of them together for a big 24-man tournament with Safari Games as well. And so that will get you a slot in that one, and your map will be featured on that one and in the videos I record on that one. And then also, we'll probably end up, once we get a server going for Safari Games, we'll also have your maps featured as one of the main rotations. And it'll say, made by, and your name every time that map is played. So that'd be really cool to have you guys come up with some map designs. So now, as far as what you need to do the map. So the main thing with Safari Games is you have the ability to teleport to different biomes. So here is the list of the biomes in the bottom left corner right now. So beach, desert, extreme hills, forest, ice plains, ice mountains, jungle, ocean, plains, rivers, swamp, taiga. Whole bunch of different biomes. I believe the Minecraft wiki under list of biomes, if you just Google that, has all of them. I'll try to get a link to that if I remember. The only biomes that aren't actually spawned with Pixelmon in them are Hell and Sky, which are the Nether and the End. But I'm looking for a map that has at least the basic core ones, because there's a lot of ones that are just like Extreme Hills Edge and stuff, which aren't really that important. And so you'd need to probably use, I think MC Edit is the program that actually enables you to change what the biome of a specific chunk is. So that way you can actually make a map where all of the different biomes are fairly close together. Because on this map, let me see if I can go into creative mode. So like this one, we've got forest, we've got extreme hills, we've got a river over there, swamp over there, and that's just about it. Like, there's not very many nearby biomes, and I'd like to have the maps be fairly small so it's easier to run on a server with a lot more people. And so if we had a large number of biomes that were close together but still fairly good size, that would really help. If anyone's familiar with the Hunger Games series of books, there was a map they were playing on where it's essentially a large clock where each hour segment, so from noon to 1 o'clock kind of a thing, had a separate feature. And so that'd be kind of cool. I've been thinking of having, ocean from 12 o'clock to 1 o'clock, and then a forest or a beach, and then a forest and a desert, so on and so forth like that. That could be one of the possible map designs. But if you have other designs, checkerboard patterns, or just kind of random chunks that kind of all hook together that are in a closer area, it'll kind of save on server resources and enable people to play with a lot less lag. So again, the list of biomes. So if you can have the list of biomes that are on the screen right now, the Poke Center is also going to be in that. It's going to be one of the buildings I require. But if you can get all of those different biomes in your map, and you can add cities to it if you want, or any other extra features, houses, whatever you feel like, that would be really awesome. And if you use the newest Pokeloot mod and actually place random Pokeloot chests around the map, that'd be even cooler. Hidden chests and regular chests, because everyone gets an item finder as one of their starting items. Then that would enable me to actually have it so that we have some random loot. We have some Thunderstones and Firestones and TMs and stuff actually coming into play during a match, which I think would be pretty cool. Alright, so far as other requirements, I want to have the ability, so this is just a kind of a tiny stadium, looking to have a 12-person or 12 stadium setup, so that way you can have a 24-man server, have, player 1 spawn on this one, player 2 spawn there, and then those two would fight. Player 3 would spawn on different podiums, player 4, and those two would fight. And so that way I could actually have it do the tournament rounds, and then each one of the rounds bring people to the correct platforms for their fights. With the new update, there's going to be a lot of updates to the actual battle camera, and so battles will actually be a lot more interesting to watch because you're not going to be shaking like an earthquake the entire time you're fighting. If you also wanted to have different levels, I'm planning on 24-man, so the first round would be 12 people would be eliminated, and so there'd be 12 fights for the first round, 6 fights for the second round, a 3-fight round, and then one of those guys would actually get a bye to the finals, and that'd be a round with 2 and then a round with 1. So I don't know if you wanted to make, it's up to you if you want to do just 12 stadiums that are just kind of small like this, or you could have 12 of those, and then you can have bigger stadiums that are more fancy for the later rounds, whatever you want to do. And also, feel free to build down and up, so you could have like all of the battle arenas just buried underground, because I'm going to be teleporting players to them anyway, so they don't actually have to be reachable. Or you could have a giant like floating battle island up in the sky that has all of the stuff as well. So besides the stadiums, the other requirement I'm going to have for the maps is that they have a Poke Center. You only need one, because that way everyone keeps coming back in and out of the same thing. And so like this Poke Center is going to be way too small. This works well for a 4-person game, but for 24 people, these 2 healers will get really crowded. So I'm looking for something that maybe has like 6 healers. That would probably help quite a bit, and like 6 computers, so that way there's not really a line for using any of those at the time. I think 3 trade machines should probably be sufficient. You can put some more of those if you want, but they're kind of big, and 3's probably the far end of what's going to be needed. You can decorate them however you like, and use whatever materials and whatnot, because all players are going to be in adventure mode, so they're not going to be able to break anything. So you can use diamond block if you want to. I will personally be playing all these maps in Sphax Pure BD Craft, because I just like the Sphax texture pack. That's the one I've been using right now. So if you happen to build in Sphax, that's going to be how it looks on my videos, and I'm hopefully going to pick ones that, they should look good in all texture packs, because if they look good in Sphax, they look good in another one. But if they look just absolutely fantastic with Sphax, then that's probably going to help you out a little bit. So just a hint, load that up while you're building. So yeah, that's what they're going to need for the Poke Center. And then the other thing you would want to have is some kind of spawn area, especially if your map's going to be selected for one of the ones that gets used in the actual servers of Safari games. If you had just kind of a waiting room, it's kind of like the survival games if you've ever played on the Minecraft survival games servers. They just have a waiting room that has, you could make it essentially just like a giant hollowed out Pokeball. That's what I really wanted to do, is just like a giant, like, I don't know, 12-block radius sphere that looks like a Pokeball on the inside, and everyone's just trapped in there. Or you could just make it a box with, different, things to do. Just as long as it's somewhere where everybody who joins the server spawns to, that keeps them off of the map so they can't actually go around and capture things. And then the trick with that spawn room, if you set its biome to, I believe, hell, so it would be for the nether, then it will not let anything naturally spawn there. And so you can use that as a way to make sure that people aren't, picking their starter and, oh, look, there's a, random Charizard or something that spawns in the starting room, and people are able to get into fights with them before their round even begins. So I think that's it. So I'm going to actually have a thread down in the description that links to, a link to a thread down in the description on the Pixelmon forums. And so this will be where you can post pictures of your map, as well as a download link. If you use Dropbox or SugarSync or any Mediafire or some other one like that, and have some way of getting that to me, I would probably best if you just PM'd me on the forums, and then just mailed me the link so I can download it and check the maps out. Not really sure what the deadline on this competition is going to be, so get them in when you can, because it's probably going to be a couple weeks after the update to 1.6 for Minecraft that I'm actually going to be having Safari games ready to go for those videos. And so sometime before those videos, I'm going to find out when those dates are going to be. I'll let you guys know, and I will start finding out which one of the maps we want to pick for first and second prize. And even if you didn't make the first or second prize, there's probably going to be, I don't even know how many maps we would have on a server rotation. So you could definitely still have your map featured. It'll still say your name, like, you know, every time this map, it was PokeFan111 who built this map every time a round starts. And so you could definitely do that and get yours on the main rotation if you don't make the first ones. So I think I'm going to actually kind of leave the map submission open past the, deadline for those two big tournaments. And that way anyone who comes up with a map later can throw it in and it can be added to the server rotation if it's good. Yeah, so I think that's pretty much it for this mapping contest idea. Anyway, so I will leave it off for here, and definitely feel free to send in your submissions. Alright, see you next time.